What's going on, guys? My name is Spooky, and welcome to a bit of a weird game, Doki Literature Club. Now, first thing you're probably thinking upon clicking on this video, what's wrong with you? Are you a weeb? No, I'm not. Trust me, I am not a weeb. Kind of. Anyways, the thing about this game is that it's actually a horror game. Despite its looks, this whole sequence, this whole intro right here, is completely deceiving. And I guess there's no real way to explain than to let you see for yourself, because shit gets intense in this game. And it gets intense pretty fast. Please enter your name. Spooky. Hey! I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the names right, so don't yell at me in the comments. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Spooky. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you want to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. God, after the whole fiasco with one shot and me not being able to pronounce anything, a game where it's like a lot of reading, this is gonna be hell. I can already pick up so many grammatical errors I'm making while attempting to fucking speak. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Spooky, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did in one of my many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's talking about. Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Uh-huh. I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. You know, I trust you if you maybe focus more on my horrible grammar than my social skills. Alright, because that needs more work. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I would even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Story wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come to the classroom while I was spacing out. I look all around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting here spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, Know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori, yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. I think I need that club, fuck. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title of vice president. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member. And Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine. I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yes! Let's go! And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. Why would you put a big word like that? Dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs. A section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for this third-year classes and activities. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always has nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Spooky, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. She's also the one who made the cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back toward the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. This is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparatively more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Spooky. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... You too, Monica. Come sit down, Spooky. We made room for you at the table, so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I got a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there's one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa. Natsuki lifts the foil of the tray to reveal a dozen white, fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing, and little pieces of chocolate were used to make the ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Zoe grabs the first one, then Monica, then I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and has already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Nasuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. Eh? I thought you technically did. Sayori said, well, maybe. But not for you, no. You, dummy. Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. I butchered that. Alright. I give up on Nasuki's weird logic and dismiss the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot next to the cupcake tray. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but I at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So, what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori really seemed happy here, so... That's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate club last year? Well, you know. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and the publicity and how to prepare for the events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I'm fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. But I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Spooky, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Nasuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build up deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyways, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped something I can relate to at the minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. What's wrong with horror? Oh, why's that? Well, Nasuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Nasuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori sidles up behind Nasuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Nasuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No. Nasuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Nasuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set up an example and help Nasuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for you, Yuri. Fuck. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Nasuki and Yuri look up quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then, next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it will help us all get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Spooky? Monika smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. And what's that? Now that we're all back to the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's being on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I have never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All the four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought... Spooky... You all... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make such a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girl's eyes lighten up. Yes, I'm so happy! Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey! You really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came here for the cupcakes, I would have been super pissed. Now that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting, so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Spooky, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Nasuki clean up the food. Hey, Spooky, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Nasuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Oh. Scars. Let's see. Angie. Ooh, I like the word Aurora. Eternity. Lazy. Ooh. Well, that's not happy. That is not a happy word. I'm gonna skip that one and go for fun. Fluffy. Universe. Incapable. That's a sad word. Existence. Oh, fuck. Hit him with the old razzle-dazzle. Socks. Ooh, I like the word Inferno. Ooh, melancholy. Oh, fuck. How do I gotta pick between melancholy and... I gotta go with melancholy. Bliss. Ooh, I gotta go with bliss. Agonize. Ooh, horror. Ooh. Anime. I'll pick anime another time. Horror or agonizing? Horror. Oh, definitely games. Depression. Who keeps putting these sad shit? I want to see which one of these ones gets excited by that. What? Sayori? That's Sayori. So was suicide Sayori's? Okay. So what if I put death? What? That's so weird. Explode? Oh, that makes Yuri happy. Sticky. Oh god. Unending. Why are they getting sad? Viv. I'm gonna pick the one that I can't pronounce. Heartbeat or music. Those are my two I'm looking at here. I'm gonna go with heartbeat. Hi again, Spooky. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Spooky. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it? Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join this club, any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you just plan to come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Nasuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Nasuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Nasuki pops it back into her seat. I mean, I can agree with that. I would say comic books can be counted as literature, and manga is just Japanese comics, right? Don't worry, guys. Spooky always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sorry, that's because your room is so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Spooky can become good friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know? Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up for me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright, well here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she'll think I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I'll look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't usually. Fuck! I was doing so good! But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is is already buried in a book. I'm adding words. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Man, looks like no one wants to be bothered today. I slumped down in the nearest desk. How am I supposed to occupy myself with something literature related by myself like this? I guess I could always read some of the book Yuri gave me, but I'm feeling a little too tired to read. I could probably fall asleep right now. I close my eyes and end up listening in on Sayori's conversation with Monica. We're probably gonna seem really lame compared to all the other clubs though. Well, we can't give up. The festival is our chance to show everyone what literature is all about. The problem is that the idea of the literature club sounds too dense and intellectual. But it's not like that at all, We just need a way of showing that to everyone. Something that speaks to their creative minds. It doesn't solve the problem, though. What do you mean? Even if we come up with the most fun thing ever, nobody will come in the first place if it's a literature event. So it's more important to figure out how to get people to show up in the first place, After they come, we can do the thing to speak to their creative minds. What's this? Sayori is taking this really seriously. It's rare to hear her deliberating like this. Huh? That's a good point. In that case, do you think food will do the trick? Well, what kind? Well, I guess we could... Cupcakes! Good thinking. Natsuki would love to do that. Ah, you're right. Natsuki makes the best cupcakes. That works out perfectly. That wasn't why you suggested it? Cupcakes speak to my creative tummy. Cupcakes it is, then. I'm hungry. Anyway, we still need to work out the details of the event itself. I found myself smiling. In the end, Sayori is still her usual self. But therein lies the unexpected reason I admire her. Unlike me, who has trouble finding any motivation at all, Sayori can put her mind to things and make them come to life. I suppose that's why I end up letting her get on my case about things. I can't help but wonder what it would be like to see the world through her eyes. Wah! I open my eyes to find Sayori's face filling my vision. I nearly fall out of my chair. Sorry. Wait. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. It's your fault for sleeping like that. This isn't the napping club. Does our school have a napping club? You're staying up late again, aren't you? Now that you're in a club, you're going to have less time for anime, You'll need to get used to it. Don't say that so loud. I glance over my shoulder to see if Monica overheard. It's true, though. Yeah, I know. You're always looking out for me, Sayori. It's what I do best. That's a problem. What about you? You look out for me better than you look out for yourself. You're still oversleeping every day, aren't you? Not every day. That's not very convincing. How many days this past week have you gotten up on time? It's a secret. I knew it. Come on. At least give me the benefit of the doubt. I can't even do that. Look, Sayori, it's written all over you. Eh? Sayori glances around at herself. How is this written all over me? You were clearly in a rush this morning. Look, your hair is sticking out over there, here. Ah. I run my fingertips down the side of Sayori's hair, trying to straighten it out. Man, you really need a brush for this. My hair is just really hard to get right. I won't fall for that. There's more than just your hair. Look, your bow isn't straight either. And there's toothpaste on your collar right there. I try to wipe off the stain with my finger. But nobody would ever notice that. Of course they would. Nobody's going to tell you about it because they don't want to embarrass you. Fortunately, I really don't care about that. Hey, you meanie. And you don't even keep your blazer buttoned up. Seriously, Sayori. Why do you think you don't have a boyfriend yet? Eh? That's super mean. Sorry, but you'll thank me later. I started to button up her blazer from the bottom. Once you see how much better it looks, you'll change your mind. This is so funny. What is? Well, I was just thinking about how weird it is to have a friend who does these kind of things. Eh? Don't say that. It'll make me feel weird about it, stupid. It's okay, though. I'm happy we're like this. Aren't you? I guess. Hey, be careful. The button might come off. Why is this one so hard to close? I struggle to fully close the button near her chest. Does this thing even fit you properly? It did when I bought it. If you ever buttoned it, you would have noticed sooner that it doesn't fit you anymore. What are you smiling about? It means my boobs got bigger again. Don't say that out loud. Anyway, you look much better now, so... Why does it feel so strange to see Sayori's blazer buttoned up like that? But it's so stuffy. It's not worth it at all. Sayori hastily unbuttons her blazer once more. Whew. That's so much better. Sayori puts her arms out and twirls around. So if I keep it unbuttoned, then I won't get a boyfriend, right? What kind of logic is that? Why are you saying it like it's a good thing? Because if I had a boyfriend, that he wouldn't let you do things like this. And you take care of me better than anyone else would anyway. So that's why I'm keeping it unbuttoned. Stop saying all these embarrassing things. Eh? I didn't say anything embarrassing. Jeez. Well, anyway, just focus on trying to wake up a little earlier. Only if you focus on getting to bed earlier. Fine, fine. It's a deal. I guess we really are better at taking care of each other than we are at taking care of ourselves. Yeah, I guess so, huh? So maybe you should come wake me up in the morning. You're doing it again, Sayori. Aw, but I was joking that time. Man, it's impossible to tell with you sometimes. Okay, everyone. Huh? Monica suddenly calls out. Why don't we share the poems we wrote now? Yay! Spooky, I can't wait to read yours. Yeah, same. I fail to sound enthusiastic, but Sayori still trots away to retrieve her poem. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Nasuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I'd do the same myself. Who should I show my poem to first? Let's go in order. I'm definitely most comfortable sharing it with Sayori first. She's my good friend after all. Oh my goodness! This is so good, Spooky! Eh? I love it! I had no idea you were such a good writer. Sayori, you must be seriously overreacting. I'm not a good writer at all. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Well, maybe that's why. Because I have no idea what I like either. Jeez. I'm sure Yuri's opinion has to be a little more constructive than this. Maybe even Nasuki's. Are you sure you don't like it just because I wrote it? Eh? Well, I'm sure that's part of it. I think I understand you better than a lot of other people, you know. So when I read your poem, It's not just a poem. It's a spooky poem. And that makes it feel extra special. Like I can feel your feelings in it. Sayori hugs the sheet against her chest. You're so weird, Sayori. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It reminds me of how you're really part of this club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Spooky. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now you read my poem too, right? Fuck, read my poem too, right? I wrote that really weird. Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Dear Sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until morning to write this? No? Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It just came out nice. Or, how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast. Even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I skip breakfast all the time. I get cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monika's the best. Yeah. But next time I won't forget. I'm going to write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Alright. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me, princess. It's not like I said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyways, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try. But that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can really be disheartening. Disheartening? Did I read that right? I don't know. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feelings in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya? Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. What a Yuri. Yuri stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why don't you ask? Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I guess that it might be after reading through it. Ah, so it's that bad? No? Did I just raise my voice? I'm so sorry. Yuri buries her face in her hands. I couldn't help but notice that it's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to new people. It's fine. I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finishes her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present but living in the past. The light flickens. I flicker back. Flickers. I flicker back. So, I can definitely see some of the creepier elements. I like this one the best. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. It's okay. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. Oh, well, I don't like cursive. It's hard to read for me. But it took you a long time to read, because it's cursive. Ah. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Eh? That's a relief. Also, I liked the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Spooky. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that it won't be long before you pick up on these things, too. Yeah, maybe you're right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm counting on you. Who should I show my poem to next? Monica. Hi, Spooky. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Spooky. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like this one. It makes me think of something Sayori would like. Is that so? You and Sayori are really good friends, right? I wouldn't be surprised if you had these sorts of things in common. Ah, well, we may be good friends, but Sayori and I are actually really different. Well, that may be the case, but maybe there is also some similarities that you wouldn't expect. The way she talks about you, it sounds like the two of you really care about each other's well-being. Even if you show it in different ways, it ends up being more similar than you'd think. So I think that's the kind of vibe I get when I'm reading your poem. Fuck. Butchered that. You sure you're not reading into it too much? I could be. Oh gosh, I sound like Yuri. But in any case, Sayori's writing has kind of a gentle feel to it. I can tell that she likes exploring with emotions, like happiness and sadness. Who knew that someone so happy would enjoy sad things too? Picking up on a depression vibe there. Yeah, that's totally unexpected. Well, to each their own. And you shouldn't be afraid to experiment a little bit either. I'm sure it'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else's might be a bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. Doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know. I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. So, what do you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that's the kind of style, or that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. There's a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. That's what the inspiration, what was the inspiration behind this one? Jesus. Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feelings of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out as nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Spooky did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Spooky liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Spooky appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Whoa. Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Spooky started showing up. Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, you guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Spooky. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain that to her, Spooky. Wait! There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Spooky? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. Whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So, of course, that's going to be... Oh, God. I don't want to take sides. I'm not taking sides. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So instead I turn to Yuri. But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori, Yeah? Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Spooky? Well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. Yeah, unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri that what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that's made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop! Natsuki, Yuri, you guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people, and I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint the beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well... Also, Suki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same way they always were. Big and beautiful. Sayori? Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Suki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why this Sayori is vice president. I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader, but I can organize things. And I can organize things, but I'm not very good with people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing of me. Nah, it's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own ways, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's really suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. I see. Take good care of her, okay? I would hate to see her get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causes my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person really does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get the chance to talk to her a little more. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Spooky, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk to... It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you learned something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Spooky, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori? About what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've ever seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Whew. You know, Spooky, it's nice that I got to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. And I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? Well, we'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an intentional monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Ooh. Massacre, Eternity, or Melancholy. I like Melancholy. Wait, I have to impress someone. That's the whole goal of this. I need to impress somebody. And I think the person I'm already impressing most is Sayori. And Sayori is the childhood friend, so I'm gonna go with that. Boom, laugh. Games. Oh, that's Natsuki. Pain. Ugh. Hurt. Uncontrollable. Oh, that's shit. Puppy. Damn. Calm. Okay. Lazy. Okay. Death. Happiness. Sweet. Is this gonna... Oh, okay. I'm getting the vibe that Sayori is super depressed. But suicide, I guess, goes along with the horror theme that Yuri would enjoy. Okay, vibrant. Shit. Pure. Shit. Smile? There we go. Sadness. Boop. I have to pick it. Alone? Oh. Giggle. Another day passes and it's time for the club meeting. It's time for the club meeting already, motherfucker. I've gotten a little more comfortable here over the past couple days. Entering the club room, the usual scene greets me. Hi, Spooky. Yo, Sayori. Looks like you're in a good mood today. I'm just still not used to you being in the club, that's all. I see. That's a pretty simple thing to get in the mood, or to get you in a good mood. But I guess it's always the simple things with you anyway. Speaking of which, I'm kinda hungry. Will you come with me to go buy a snack? No thanks. Eh? That's not like you at all. I have my reasons. Why don't we take a look at your purse, Sayori? Why that, all of a sudden? No reason, really. I just wanted to look at it. Ah. Sayori nervously retrieves her coin purse. She fumbles with the latch and gets it open. Then she turns it upside down and lets its contents spill on the desk. Only 2 small coins fall out. I knew it. I can see right through you, Sayori. That's not fair. How did you even know? It's simple. If you had enough money in the first place, you would have bought a snack before coming into the club room. So either you're not hungry and wanted an excuse to take a walk, or you plan to conveniently forget that you spent all your money so that I would have to lend you some. But there's one more thing. You're always hungry. And so, that only leaves the one option. Ooh, I give up. Don't make me feel guilty. If you feel guilty, that means you deserve to feel guilty. Yuri suddenly giggles. I didn't notice that she was listening in. Her face is in her book always. I wasn't listening or anything. It was just something in my book. Yuri? Tell Spooky to let me borrow some money. Don't get me involved like that, Sayori. Besides, you should only buy what you can responsibly afford. And frankly, after putting a mischievous little stunt like that, your suffering is a fair enough retribution. Did I just... I didn't mean that. I get too absorbed into my book. Oof. I really like it when you speak your mind, Yuri. It doesn't happen much, but it's a fun side of you. There's no way you could think of that. You were right, though. I did something bad, and now I have to accept the retribution. That. Still, coming from you, Sayori. I guess there's a little devil inside all of us, isn't there? Don't let her fool you. Sayori knows exactly what she's doing. After all, she told you guys she was bringing me to the club before she even told me. But you wouldn't have come if it wasn't for the cupcakes. So I had to trick Natsuki into making them. Come on, give me more credit than that, Sayori. Pwop. Kya! Out of nowhere, something smacks Sayori in the face and tumbles onto the desk. Ow! What was... a cookie? Sure enough, it's a giant cookie wrapped in plastic. Sayori glances around. Is this a miracle? Is it because I paid my restitution? Retribution. Actually, that one almost worked. I was just gonna give it to you. But then I heard you blab about the cupcakes. I was totally worth seeing your reaction, though. Natsuki, that's so nice of you. I'm so happy. Sayori hugs the cookie. Jeez, just eat it. Sayori rapidly tears open the wrapping paper, or the wrapper, and takes a big bite. Will I ever learn how to fucking read? So good. Sayori suddenly claps her hands over her mouth. I bit my tongue. They're going through a lot over just one cookie. Natsuki takes a bite of her own cookie. Oh, yours looks really good too, Natsuki. Can I try it? Jeez. Beggars can't be choosers. But yours is chocolate. Yeah, why do you think I gave you that one? Fine. Still, I'm really happy that you shared this one with me. Sayori gets out of her seat and goes behind Nasuki, then wraps her arms around her. Ah, jeez. I get it. Cookie still in hand, Nasuki reaches up to nudge Sayori off her. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Nasuki. Sayori suddenly leans down and takes a bite out of Nasuki's cookie. Hey! Did you seriously just do that? Mouthful, Sayori trots away to safety. Yuri and I laugh as well. Jeez, you're such a kid sometimes. Monika, can you tell Sayori... Eh? Nasuki glances around. Monika isn't in the club room. Ugh. Where's Monika anyway? Good question. Have any of you heard anything about her being late today? Not me. Yeah, I haven't either. That's a bit unusual. I hope she's okay. Of course she's okay. She probably just had something to do today. She's pretty popular after all. Eh? You don't think she has a... I wouldn't be surprised. She's probably more desirable than all of us combined. That's true. Excuse me? Suddenly the door swings open. Sorry, I'm super sorry. Ah, there you are. I didn't mean to be late. I hope you guys weren't worried or anything. Eh? Monika chose the club over her boyfriend after all. You're so strong-willed. A boyfriend? What on earth are you talking about? Monika quizzically glances at me. Never mind that. What held you up anyway? Well, my last period today was study hall. To be honest, I kind of just lost track of time. That makes no sense, though. You would have heard the bell ring at least. I must not have heard it, since I was practicing piano. Piano? I wasn't aware you played music as well, Monika. I don't really. I just kind of started recently. I've always wanted to learn piano. That's so cool! You should play something for us, Monika. That's... Monika looks at me. Maybe once I get a little bit better, I will. Yay! That sounds so cool. I'd also look forward to it. Is that so? In that case, I won't let you down, Spooky. Monika smiles sweetly. I didn't mean to pressure... Or I didn't mean any pressure or anything like that. Don't worry. I've been practicing a whole lot recently. And I'd really love the chance to share it once I'm ready. I see. In that case, best of luck. Thanks. So, I didn't miss anything, did I? Not really. I chose to leave out Sayori's mischievous escapade. I'm sure Nasuki will end up complaining to her anyways. It looks like everyone has already settled down. Sayori somehow already finished her entire cookie. Yuri's back to her book, and Nasuki disappeared into the closet. Spooky! Sayori suddenly comes up to me. I'm gonna go get some supplies from another classroom. Want to come with me? Supplies? What for? Well, you know how the festival is coming up. Me and Monika were gonna make some posters and stuff. So I need to go find some crayons, markers, and glue sticks. I see. Sure, I'll go with you. Yay! Okay, Monika, we'll be back soon. Are you going with Spooky to get the supplies? There's no need to trouble yourself. I'd be happy to go with him. Oh, but I wanted to go. So much fun exploring empty classrooms and stuff. Okay. It was just a suggestion. See if you can find poster paper too, okay? Okay. Ready, Spooky? Yep, let's go. Sayori and I exit the club room. I follow behind as Sayori hums and skips around the hallway. Honestly, it feels like I'm talking to a kid or taking a kid to the mall or something. Sayori finds pleasure in the simplest things sometimes. Hey Sayori, what exactly are we doing for the festival anyway? I'm not sure about how you would make an event out of literature. Me and Monika have it all planned out. Don't you worry. Is that so? Yep. We're gonna do a poetry performance. A performance? Of what kind? Well, everyone is gonna take turns on stage and recite their favorite poems. Ah, that sounds kind of dull. Spooky, you're not thinking about it the right way at all. It's not just about reading poems. It's about performing them. Like you say the lines of the poem like, between my feet, the last remaining flower beckons to me. I twist the stem, freeing it from its clinging roots. caressing the final joyous moment between my fingers. But to what ends have I summoned this joy? For now, when I look in every direction, the once prosperous field before me is but a barren wasteland. Like that. Sayori, how do I put this? I'm sure it's just me, but it's impossible for me to take you seriously when you talk like that. You meanie. I'm working super hard on this, you know. I know. I just meant that it's a pretty unordinary contrast to your cute self. Don't say that, it's embarrassing. But I guess that means I'm doing a good job. Yeah, I guess so. I'm so excited. The festival is going to be so much fun. Sayori spins herself around in the hallway again. Hey Spooky, this classroom over here is empty. Let's begin the mission. The mission, eh? It's been a long time since I've spent time with Sayori like this. But in the end, she hasn't changed one bit. She's nothing but a ball of sunshine, drawing happy vibes from the world around her. It's a pretty nostalgic feeling for me. As the years went by, I began to hold myself up in my room more and more. So going adventuring with Sayori brings about a special sort of feeling I forgot I had in me. The two of us enter the classroom. Sayori heads straight to the closet, and I follow. Let's see what we have in here. Crayons! Sayori pulls a box of crayons off the shelf. They're the best brand, too. They're kind of dirty, though. Sayori starts pulling various crayons out of the box, reading the color names. Alright, that's one down. Don't get distracted. We still need to find... Wait, I'm looking for my favorite color. Fine. At least move aside so I can look for the poster paper. I dropped one by accident. Smack. Kya! Sayori bends over and smacks her forehead right into the shelf. She falls on the floor and the crayons spill all over her lap. Ow. Sounds like Yoshi. Fucking hell. You okay? My forehead. Bro, big Yoshi. Sayori clutches her forehead. Gee, Sayori. That's just like you, isn't it? Come on, let me see. Since Sayori is standing on the floor, I grab her by the waist and pull her out of the closet. You have to move your hands, Sayori. But it hurts. Just do it for a second. Sayori slowly releases her hands from her forehead. I gently brush her bangs to the side. Ow. Sorry. There's a huge red mark on the center of her forehead. A bump is starting to form as well. Man, that's gonna swell up. I should find you some ice. Spooky? Where would I even find ice around this time? I guess a cold drink would do. You don't have to. I'm fine with looking like a unicorn. Even wincing from the pain, Sayori makes a silly joke. What are you saying? I'll be right back, okay? Oh, okay. I pat Sayori on the shoulder and run out into the hallway. I locate the nearest vending machine. What should I get? Doesn't really matter since we'll be using an ice pack rather than to drink. But I know Sayori likes apple juice, so I purchased that one. In just a moment, I'm already returning to the classroom where I left Sayori. She has one palm on her forehead and is using the other hand to clumsily scoop crayons back into the box. At least they were already in the wrong spots before I spilled them. Sayori here. I hand Sayori the bottle of apple juice. It's nice and cold. Sayori opens the cap and starts drinking from it. Sayori, what are you doing? It's for your forehead, idiot. Ah. Sorry, I forgot. How hard did you hit your head? Sayori places the bottle against the bump on her head. It stings. Just bear with it. It'll feel better soon. Looks like you cleaned up most of the crayons. That's so good. Hey, Spooky. This kind of reminds you of growing up, doesn't it? Eh? What do you mean? You know how we used to play outside all the time? I'd always try to keep up with you. You were kind of oblivious in some ways. Like I usually fell behind or had trouble climbing onto the things you did. But sometimes when I tried things to do I couldn't, I would get myself hurt. I'd fall and scrape myself or get a bump. I would just start crying really hard. You would rush over as quick as you could. You would try really hard to get me to stop crying. It was almost like you blamed yourself and were afraid of getting in trouble if someone found out. Even though it really wasn't your fault, you know? Did I really do that? Yeah. You don't remember? Come to think of it, maybe I do remember a bit. I guess I was always so focused on my games that I didn't pay enough attention to you. So in a way, it was my fault. Kind of like this time too. If I wasn't rushing out of the closet, you probably wouldn't have... Or if I wasn't rushing you out of the closet, you probably wouldn't have hit your head. Spooky? I don't think you realize it, but you're always thinking about other people. Even after all these years. You're rushing to help me even though I was just being clumsy. You're really a sweetheart. Don't call me that. I don't really do this kind of thing all the time. I guess when it comes to you, it just feels natural. Before I even know it, I'm treating you like that. I guess that's what happens when you've been friends for so long. Really? Maybe you're right. Spooky, I'm so glad that nothing's changed between us. Do you think it'll be like this forever? Forever? If I'm honest to myself, there's no telling where we'll end up for college or after that. So it wouldn't be fair to make any promises. But, well, I hope so. It's been like this long already. Or it's been this long already, right? I can't imagine you ever changing, so my hopes are up. I'm so happy. Sayori has a whimsical expression in her eyes. We remain silent for a moment. She's so silly and clumsy on the outside that I feel like She's so silly and clumsy on the outside that when I see her deep in thought like this, it makes me not want to disturb her. I guess we should go back. I don't want to worry Monica, you know. Good luck with that. She's gonna see your forehead either way. Not if I hide it under my bangs. Sayori hops to her feet. Ah! She clutches her forehead again. Don't stand up so fast after hurting yourself. Ooh. Well, I guess it's too late now. Anyway, let's go. I follow Sayori out of the classroom. Sayori plays with her bangs to try to hide the bump, without much success. In a moment, we make it back to the classroom. Ah, you're back. Good timing. I was just about ready to start with sharing our poems. Sayori, your forehead. She's fine, don't worry about. I was playing with crayons and smacked my foreheads into the shelf. Well, anyway. Were you able to find anything we needed? Uh-huh, I have it right. Sayori frantically glances around herself. I forgot all the stuff. Calm down, Sayori. I have it all right here. I found the poster paper, too. Sounds like you ended up doing all the work, Spooky. Ah, well, Sayori... I failed to come up with an excuse for Sayori. I made it an adventure. Yeah, that. Okay. In any case, good work. I'll start working on the posters tonight. Me too. Okay, everyone. Are you ready to share your poems? Guess I should grab mine. After making sure the crayon box is closed tightly, I return to my seat. Who should I show my poem to first? Let's go in order again. Spooky. I really love your poems. I can't believe you've been hiding these from me. I'm not hiding anything. But your poems are so good. Yesterday's, and this one too. You can't tell me you haven't done this before. I mean, you're really the one who feels that way, so... No way! Not even Nasuki? Well, I guess Nasuki is least likely to admit how much he likes something. But I don't think it's that. What do you mean? Well, I guess I'll be honest about it. It's a lot easier to write poems when I'm thinking about you. Oh, another Yoshi sound? Let me channel the inner power of Yoshi. Stop thinking about weird things, idiot. I just mean that you're a really expressive person, I guess. How am I supposed to write poems about my own stupid life? But you somehow make everything in your life an adventure. Even the little things. Like cooking? Let's not talk about that. So yeah. I guess what I'm saying is that I can feel more feelings through you than I can through myself. We have that kind of weird connection. It's your fault for getting in my business all the time. Eh? I don't know if I understand. You never understand when I try to explain things to you, do you, Sayori? I pat Sayori's head. Hey, I'm not a kid, you know. Are you sure about that? Maybe. Sayori starts fiddling with her pencil between her hands. Hey, Spooky, will you give me your poem? I kind of want to keep it. Huh? Why? Because, well, it's the first time you've written something for me. Sorry, you completely misunderstood. I didn't write this for you. Are you even listening anymore? Well, whatever. I'll give it to you when we go home. Really? Snap. Ah! I broke my pencil. Sayori hastily bends down to pick up the pieces she dropped. Being attentive of her surroundings, she bumps right into me. Sorry. It's fine, it's fine. I'll get it for you. I bend down and pick up the broken pencil. Sayori clutches the desk beside her to support herself, knees shaking. I'm a little clumsy today. Let's sit down, Sayori. Yeah. I grabbed Sayori's arm and helped her sit at the desk. Anyways, I still haven't read your poem. Oh. Sorry, I forgot all about that. But it's not as good as yours. Geez, don't worry. I'm sure I'll like it. Bottles. I pop off my scalp like the lid of a cookie jar. It's a secret place where I keep all of my dreams. Like balls of sunshine, all rubbing together on like a bundle of kins, motherfuck. I reach inside with my thumb and forefinger to pluck one out. It's warm and tingly, but there's no time to waste. I put it in a bottle to keep it safe, and I put the bottle on the shelf with all the other bottles. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and bottles all in a row. My collection makes me lots of friends. Each bottle is starlight to make amends. Sometimes my friend feels a certain way. Down comes a bottle to save the day. Night after night, more dreams. Friend after friend, more bottles. Deeper and deeper my fingers go, like exploring a dark cave, discovering the secrets hiding in the nooks and crannies. Digging and digging. Fuck. Scraping and scraping. I blow dust off my bottle caps. It doesn't feel like the time elapsed. My empty shelf could use some more. My friends look through my locked front door. Finally, all alone. I open up and in come my friends. In they come in such a hurry. Do they want my bottles that much? I frantically pull them from the shelf, one after the other, holding them out to each and every friend, each and every bottle. But every time I let one go, it shatters against the tile. It shatters against the tile between my feet. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts, and shards all over the floor. They were supposed to be for my friends who aren't smiling. They're all shouting, pleading something, but all I hear is echo, 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 echo inside my head. Holy shit. Holy crap. Sorry, did you really write this? Of course I did. Didn't I tell you yesterday I was going to write the best poem ever? Yeah, but I didn't expect something like this coming from you. Monica taught me a whole lot, and I've been really in touch with my feelings recently. I see that. It's almost kind of creepy. Creepy? Well, not exactly. Maybe because I'm so used to you being cheerful. Well, never mind. I'm thinking too hard about it. The point is, it came out good. You should be proud of it. Aw, thanks. I feel like I was meant to express myself this way. It even helps me to understand my own feelings a little bit better. Writing is like magic. You've gotten pretty passionate about this, huh? I hope you keep it up. Yeah, writing's the best. I'm gonna keep writing until I die. Don't get ahead of yourself. Sayori's always had a habit of getting obsessed with something before dropping it no more than a week later. I wonder if this is one of those times. But seeing the passion in her eyes makes it hard for me to be pessimistic. Let's go in order again. Well, it's not really any worse than your last one. But I can't really say it's any better either. Whew. Huh? Phew. What? Ah, well, anything that isn't a train wreck I'll take as a win. And I get the feeling you're probably most critical. Hey, what makes you... Wait, maybe that was a compliment. Aha! glad to see someone recognize my experience. Well then, keep practicing and maybe you'll be as good as me someday. Okay, Papyrus. That's, something tells me Natsuki completely missed the point. Come to think of it, this kind of reminds me of Sayori's poem from yesterday. Huh? You think so? Yeah, well I guess if you've been friends with her for so long, you might be on the same wavelength. But you never really struck me as her type. Sayori has a type all of a sudden? Well, I don't know. But honestly, how can someone so, fluffy spend so much time with someone like you? It's like she's dragging around a dead weight. That was a little unnecessary. But think of it this way, if it weren't for me, she probably would just fly away like letting go of a balloon. You could say that we take care of each other in our own way. Whatever it is, I don't get it. Well yeah, I guess I'm supposed to show you my poem. Here. Amy likes spiders. You know what I heard about Amy? Amy likes spiders. Icky, wriggly, hairy, ugly spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a cute singing voice. I heard her singing my favorite love song. Every time she sang like the chorus, my heart would pound to the rhythm of the words. But she likes spiders. That's why I'm not friends with her. One time, I hurt my leg really bad. Amy helped me up and took me to the nurse. I tried not to let her touch me. She likes spiders, so her hands are probably gross. That's why I'm not friends with her. Amy has a lot of friends. I always see her talking to people. She probably talks about spiders. What if her friends start to like spiders too? That's why I'm not friends with her. It doesn't matter if she has other hobbies. It doesn't matter if she keeps it private. It doesn't matter if it doesn't hurt anyone. It's gross. She's gross. The world is better off without spider lovers. And I'm gonna tell everyone. Jeez. Not bad, right? It's quite a bit longer than yesterday's. Yesterday's was way too short. I was just warming up. I hope you didn't think that was the best I could do. No, of course not. Anyway, the message is pretty straightforward in this poem. I doubt I have to explain it. Sometimes you can explain complicated issues with much simpler analogies, and it helps people to realize how stupid they're being. Like anyone who would agree with the subject of this poem is an ignorant jerk. Do you know people like that? Of course, it's about how everyone thinks That doesn't matter. It can be about anything. I wrote it to be easy to relate to. Everyone has some kind of weird hobby or guilty pleasure. Something that you're afraid of people find out. They'd make fun of you or think less of you. But that just makes people stupid. Who cares about what someone likes, as long as they're not hurting anyone and it makes them happy? I think people really need to learn respect for others for liking weird things. Well, you're definitely right. At least I can relate to that. And I'm sure a lot of other people can too. It's what I do best after all. I don't like writing unless there's a good message to take away from it. Like, conveying emotions is important. But I want to make people think, not just feel. Remember that. I'm going to write a good one for tomorrow too, so look forward to it. Keep going in order. Let's see what you've written for today. Well done, Spooky. Your skills are already improving. Really? Thanks, Yuri. Coming from you, that means a lot. It's nothing. I'm just happy to help inspire fellow writers. I know you're new to this, so don't worry too much if it seems like you can't get your poem to feel perfect. You don't need to be afraid to be a little more daring. Metaphors can go a long way. Don't feel like you need to work your brain like turning a bunch of gears. Try letting your mind wander through your feelings, and write down the things you see and hear. That's one way to truly enable your reader to see into your mind. It's a very intimate exercise. I see. That's a certainly interesting technique. Thanks for sharing. I have, an example of that, if you'd like to read it. Of course. Is this the poem you wrote for today? Yuri nods and timidly hands me her poem. The Raccoon! It happened in the dead of night while I was slicing bread for a guilty snack. My attention was caught by the scuttling of a raccoon outside my window. That was, I believe, the first time I noticed the strange tendencies as an ordinary human. I gave the raccoon a piece of bread. My subconscious was well aware of the consequences, well aware that a raccoon that is fed will always come back for more. The enticing beauty of my cutting knife was the symptom. The bread, my hungry curiosity. The raccoon, an urge. The moon increments its phase and reflects that much more light off my cutting knife. That very same light that glistens in the eyes of my raccoon friend. As I slice the bread, fresh and soft, the raccoon becomes excited. Or perhaps I'm merely projecting my emotions onto the newly satisfied animal. The raccoon has taken to following me. You could say that we've gotten quite used to each other. The raccoon becomes hungry more and more frequently, so my bread is always handy. Every time I brandish my cutting knife, the raccoon shows me its excitement. A rush of blood, classic Pavlovian conditioning. I slice the bread, and I feed myself again. All I got from that was, raccoon! I was a little more daring with this one than yesterday's. I can see that. It's a lot more metaphorical. I don't know if it's my fault, but I can't imagine what this poem is about. That's right. It's a bit closer to my preferred writing style. Using the poem as a canvas to express vivid imagery and conveying emotions through them. Yeah, if I take it at face value, then I can't even figure out what it's supposed to mean. Well, I think it's something that different people can relate to in their own way. I wanted to express the way it feels more for me to indulge in my more unusual hobbies. I butchered that. It's those sorts of things that I'm usually forced to keep to myself. So I sometimes enjoy writing about them. Huh, that's funny. Didn't Nasuki also write something about that? About someone being ridiculed for a strange interest? Huh? She did? Yeah. She was talking about how it doesn't matter what you're into as long as you're not hurting anybody. She's right. I mean, does she really feel that way? Yeah. Sounds like you two have that in common. That's interesting. To me, she seemed like the kind of person who would make fun of my hobbies. But I suppose that's my fault for judging, isn't it? Please don't tell her I said that. Don't worry. I have no reason to. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing it with me. After all, if I hadn't learned to embrace my own weirdness, I would probably hate myself. I might be ranting a little bit now, but I'm glad that you're a good listener. Who should I share next? Monica. Hi again, Spooky. How's the writing going? Alright, I guess. I'll take that. As long as it's not going bad, I'm happy that you're applying yourself. Maybe soon you'll come up with a masterpiece. I wouldn't count on that. You never know. Want to share what you wrote for me today? Sure, here you go. I give my poem to Monica. Alright. It's pretty good. It makes me think of Sayori, like the other one that you wrote. You two are like the dynamic duo. That's kind of exaggerating it. Yeah, probably. You do spend a lot of time with her even in this club, don't you? Then again, I don't blame you for being a little shy. I'm not shy, it's just... I'm just teasing. I know it takes a bit of time to make friends with everyone. But Yuri and Nasuki are super interesting people, so don't be afraid to give their share of time. And you can talk to me every now and then, too. I'm not, like, unapproachable or anything, am I? Ah, no, it's nothing like that. I'm just getting used to being here, that's all. Yeah. I'm sorry if I was putting pressure on you or something. I really didn't mean it like that. No, don't worry. I get what you're saying. Well, alright. But anyway, you want to read my poem now? I like the way this one turned out, so I hope you do too. Alright, let's take a look. Save me. The colors, they won't stop. Bright, beautiful colors. Flashing, expanding, piercing. Red, green, blue. An endless cacophony of meaningless noise. Fuck. I can't read. The noise, it won't stop. Violent grating waveforms. Squeaking, screeching, piercing. Sine, cosine, tangent. Like playing a chalkboard on a turntable. Like playing a vinyl on a pizza crust. An endless poem of meaningless. Load me. Oh. It's even more abstract than your last one, huh? I guess it's just the way I write. I'm sorry if you don't like it. No, I never said that. It's just kind of a thing I've never really seen before, I guess. I kind of like playing with my space on the paper. Choosing where and how to space your words can totally change the mood of a poem. It's almost like magic. The way I wrote the lines really short makes it feel like they're trying to speak over the noise. I see. Still hard for me to tell what it's about, though. Sometimes asking what a poem is about isn't the right question. A poem can be as abstract as a physical expression or a feeling, or a conversation with the reader. So putting it that way, not every poem is about something. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you'll find yourself facing a difficult decision. When that happens, don't forget to save your game. You never know when you might change your mind, or when something unexpected might happen. Wait, is this tip even about writing? What am I even talking about? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Listen here, Monica. I did not say you could break the fourth wall. And to anybody viewing this video, yes, I just Z-snapped. Fuck you. We're all done reading each other's poems, right? I have something extra planned today, so if everyone can come sit at the front of the room. Is this about the festival? Well, sort of. Do we really have to do something for the festival? It's not like we can put together anything good in just a few days. We'll just end up embarrassing ourselves instead of getting any new members. That's a concern of mine as well. I don't really do well with last-minute preparations. Don't worry so much. We're going to keep it simple, okay? We don't need much more than a few decorations. Saori has been working on posters, and I've designed some pamphlets we can give out during the event. Okay, that's great and all. That doesn't tell us what we're actually going to be doing for the event. Ah, sorry. I thought you heard about it already. We're going to be performing. Performing? Monica? Yeah, we're going to be having a poetry performance. Each of us are going to choose a poem to recite during the event. But the cool part is, we're also going to let everyone else come up and recite poems too. Saori's putting it all on the posters in case anyone wants to prepare ahead of time. Saori, who's been coloring a poster, holds it up for us to see. Are you kidding me, Monica? You didn't already start putting these posters up, did you? Well, I did. Did you really think it was that bad of an idea? Well, no. It's not a bad idea, but I didn't sign up for this, you know? There's no way I'm going to be performing in front of a group of people like that. I agree with Natsuki. I could never, in my life, do something like that. Imagining it, Yuri shakes her head in fear. Guys. No, Saori. I understand where they're coming from. Remember that Natsuki and Yuri have never shared their poems with anyone until just a couple of days ago. It's a lot to ask for them to recite their poems out loud to a whole room full of people. I guess I kind of overlooked that. So, I'm sorry. But, I still think we should give it our best. We're the only ones responsible for the fate of this club. If we start the event and put up a good Fudge. If we start the event and each put on a good performance, then it will inspire others to do the same. And the more people who perform, the better we'll be able to show everyone what literature is all about. Yeah, it's about expressing your feelings, being intimate with yourself, finding new horizons, and having fun. That's right. And it's those reasons that we're all in this club today. Don't you want to share that with others? To inspire them and find the same feelings that brought you here in the first place? I know you do. I know we all do. If all it takes is standing in front of the room for 2 minutes and reciting a poem, then I know you can do it. Natsuki and Yuri remain silent. Saori looks worried. I guess that leaves me no choice. I agree. I don't think it's too much to ask. I think Saori and Monica have been trying really hard to get new members. The least we can do is help them out a little bit. Well, maybe, but looks like Natsuki doesn't have any arguments left. Ugh. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to get it over with. Alright. Whew. Thanks, Natsuki. What about you, Yuri? Yuri dejectedly glances around at everyone else's expectant faces. I guess I don't really have a choice. That's everyone. You're the best, Yuri. This club is seriously going to be the death of me. Oh gosh. You'll be fine, Yuri. But anyway, let's move on to the main event. I want each of you to choose a poem of yours. We're going to practice reciting them in front of each other. No way! Monica, this is too sudden. Well, if you can't recite your poem in front of the club, how do you expect to recite it in front of strangers? Oh no. Don't worry. I'll start off by helping one feel a little more comfortable. Can I go next? Of course. Now let's see. Monica flips through her notebook to the specific poem she has in mind for herself. She then stands behind the podium. The title of this poem is The Way They Fly. Monica begins reciting her poem. Her clear, confident voice fills the room. More than that, her inflection is pristine. She knows exactly how to apply emotion behind each line she recites, bringing the words to life. Is this something she's done before, or is she simply a natural? I glance around me. Everyone has their eyes on Monica. Sayori looks amazed. Yuri has an intense expression on her face that I don't understand. Finally, Monica finishes the recitation. The four of us applaud. Monica takes a breath and smiles. That was so good, Monica. Thank you very much. I was just hoping to set a good example. Are you ready to go next, Sayori? I'll go next. Ooh, Yuri's all fired up all of a sudden. Yuri clutches a sheet of paper between her hands and stands up. Keeping her head down, she walks quietly over to the podium. This poem is called... Yuri anxiously glances at each of us. You can do it, Yuri. It's called After Image of a Crimson Eye. Yuri's voice shakes as she starts reading the poem. Just a moment ago, she practically refused to do this. Why is she suddenly putting in so much effort? As Yuri gets past the first couple of lines, her voice changes. It's almost like what happens when Yuri gets absorbed into her books. Her quivering words transform into the sharp syllables of a fierce and confident woman. The poem is full of twists and turns in its structure that she enunciates with perfect timing. This must be a rare glimpse into the whirling fire Yuri keeps concealed inside her head. Suddenly, she's finished. Everyone is stunned. Yuri snaps back to reality and glances around her as if she bewildered even herself. It's up to me to save the situation. I'm the first to start applauding. Everyone joins me afterwards, and we give Yuri the recognition she deserves. It's not that we didn't want to applaud for her, but we were so caught off guard we must have forgotten. As we applaud, Yuri holds the poem to her chest and rushes back to her seat. Yuri, that was really good. Thank you for sharing. Looks like Yuri is down for the count. Okay, I guess I'm next then. Sayori hops out of her chair and cheerfully walks to the podium. This one is called My Meadow. Sorry, I giggled. Sayori, it's a lot harder than I thought. How did you guys do it so easily? Try not to think of it like you're reciting to other people. Imagine you're reciting it to yourself, like in front of a mirror or in your own head. It's your poem, so it'll come out the best that way. I see. Okay then. Sayori begins her poem. Somehow it feels like her soft voice was made as a perfect match. The poem isn't aimlessly as cheery as Sayori is. It's serene and bittersweet. If I were to read this on paper, I probably wouldn't think much of it, but hearing it come out from Sayori's voice gives it a whole new meaning. Maybe this is what Sayori meant when she said she likes my poems. It's like I get to reach more deeply into someone that I thought I knew through and through. Fuck. I'm messing up again. Sayori finishes and we applaud. I did it. Good job, Sayori. Even Spooky liked it. I guess that's a good sign. What does that even mean? It came out nicely, Sayori. The atmosphere of the poem fits you nicely. But it might be that that other poems wouldn't work quite as well with that kind of delivery. I don't really understand. In other words, I've seen poems of yours where that sort of gentle delivery wouldn't work as well. It might need a little more force behind them depending on what you're reading. Oh, I know what you mean. I've been practicing that kind of thing. It's just embarrassing to do it in front of anyone. Then next time I'm going to make you pick a poem that challenges you more. We don't have much time before the festival, you know. Okay. Now who's next? Nasuki? Don't make me go before Spooky. It's not like I can compare to you guys, anyways. Might as well let Spooky lower everyone else's standards a little before I have to do it. Nasuki? It's fine. I might as well get it over with. It's not like I have much of a selection of what to read. I'll have to go with what I wrote for today. I stand up and step in front of the podium. Everyone has their eyes on me, making me feel terribly awkward. I recite my poem. Since I'm not exactly confident in my own writing, it's hard to put energy into it. Despite that, once I finish, I receive applause anyways. Sorry I'm not really as good as anyone else. Don't worry about it so much. I think it's less about your abilities and more about your lack of confidence in your writing. That's something that'll improve over time, though. Yeah, maybe. Alright then. That just leaves you, Natsuki. Yeah, I'm going. Natsuki begrudgingly gets out of her seat and makes her way to the podium. This poem is called... Why are you all looking at me? Because you're presenting... Anyway, the poem is called Jump. Natsuki takes a breath. When she starts reciting her poem, her sour attitude disappears a little. While she's still a little enthused, her poem has a rhythm and rhyme to it. It's Natsuki's trademark style, and it works surprisingly well when spoken aloud. The words feel like they bounce up and down, as if giving life to the poem. Natsuki finishes and everyone applauds. She huffs back to her seat. That wasn't so bad, was it? Easy for you to say. You better not make me do that again. Ah, well. Do you at least feel prepared enough to recite a poem in front of other people? I mean, doing it in front of other people will be way easier. I can put down whatever face I want for other people. But when it's just my friends, it's just embarrassing. That's a surprise, Natsuki. I think it would be the other way around for me. Well, that's just how it is, so... Well, I guess in that case, you won't have much to worry about for the festival. That said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. It might be hard, but I hope that you all have an idea of what it's like now. Make sure you pick a poem and get enough practice before the festival, okay? I'll be making pamphlets, so let me know ahead of time what you'll be reciting. Jeez. I should probably find some other poem to recite instead. That's fine too. It doesn't have to be your own. I'm already pleasantly surprised that you're putting in all this effort for the club. It makes me really happy. Yeah, no problem. Okay, everyone. I think that's about it for today. I know the festival is coming up, but let's try to write poems for tomorrow as well. It's been working out really nicely so far, so I'd like you to continue. As for the festival, we'll finish planning tomorrow, and then we'll have the weekend to prepare. Monday's the big day. I can't wait! I can do this. Alright. I stand up. There's no way I'll be able to find the same enthusiasm as Sayori and Monica, but I'll do my best to get through it. If it's for the sake of the club and impressing Monica, then I'll have to do my best. Ready to go, Sayori? Yep. Look at you two, always going home together like that. It's kind of adorable, isn't it? Jeez, guys. Don't make such a big deal out of it. It must be a little nice, though. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? It's okay, Spooky, you don't have to say it. Whatever. Let's go already. I walk home with Sayori once more. Even though it's only been a few days, a lot of things have already changed. But today, Sayori is being a little quieter than usual on the way home. Hey, Sayori? Sorry, I was spacing out. No wonder. I was thinking about something from earlier. I like how we get to... Sayori fumbles with her words. So let's just say that one day, Yuri asked to walk home with you. Huh? What would you do? What kind of question is that? You're kind of putting me on the spot here. I would still walk home with Sayori. Yes. Sayori. Really think I would ditch you for Yuri? But she's so beautiful and smart. Jeez. I already see her in the club every day. Besides, you always seem to really like going home together. I wouldn't just ruin that for you. You're so silly, Spooky. You think about me too much sometimes. Yuri would deserve it if she just wanted to. Sorry, I've already made up my mind. I really can't figure you out sometimes. Sorry. Besides, what's the point in speculating something that's never going to happen? The conversation trails off. It's kind of a weird thing for Sayori to care so much about. But I want to respect her and keep her happy too. And then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time. Alright, there's going to be a mini transition here. So, magical fade out. Alright guys, welcome back. Sorry about the little fade out. I had to take a quick spicy little break. But, back on it. So, write my next poem. Let's see if we can get another one for Sayori. Broken. Lazy, I know works. Cheer. Alright, bed. Bliss. Boom. Chocolate. Ah, damn it. Pain. Hope. No, that's gonna be happiness. Fun. Cry. Grief. Who does lust do? Okay, Yuri. Peace? Damn. Contamination? Damn. Clumsy. There. Giggle? Damn. Embrace? Boom. Marshmallow? Damn. Death? Boom. I got this. Oh, man. I'm the last one here again? Don't worry, I just walked in too. Are you practicing piano again? Yeah. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano? Well, maybe not determination, but I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. Oh, I can't wait for the festival. It's gonna be great. Huh? Weren't you complaining about it yesterday, Nisuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival, but it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all sorts of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You, of all people? I didn't say I didn't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you, of all people? Because it's right in your name. Monica. It's not you saying my name at all. I don't know how to do that. I'm very uncultured. So, yeah, I didn't get that. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Yep. Okay. Never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for right now, okay? Fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me? Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori is sitting at the desk in the corner of a room, looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I have my hand in front of her face. You're spacing out again. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Jeez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright. If you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else. But the conversation has already dispersed, with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk. Spooky, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh, you think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there's something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm the one asking you, Spooky. You certainly know a lot better than I do. Or certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never usually like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. But this time when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No. It's important to me, too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know. Maybe I'll try asking her myself. Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Spooky. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know? Eh? She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different than how it's always been. You're so funny, Spooky. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Because that's just how she is when she's around you. I said too much. I'm sorry, what do I do anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh on me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the only one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Okay, everyone. After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything's back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder if she was talking about with Sayori. I show it to Sayori first. This is your best one so far. It's really nice, Spooky. Thanks. Sayori, you've been a little quiet today. Is everything alright? Of course. Everything is fine. Maybe I'm just a little tired today. Do you want a nap to something? Want to nap or something? No, that's silly. Don't worry about me, okay? I only want to see smiles on your face. Well, alright. Hey, Spooky. I'm still a little surprised. I really thought that you would try writing your poems like the way Yuri does. Or even Nasuki. But in the end, yeah. I guess you're the one who likes this one the most. Why? You don't want to get closer with everyone else. Wait. Of course I do. That doesn't mean I want to try that doesn't mean I want to try so hard to impress them. I still understand you the most, Sayori. I know you have to sometimes put up with me, and I have to sometimes put up with you. But we have a wavelength or something. And this is how the poem came out. Sometimes it feels like you're the only exciting thing in my life. So sometimes it's just easier to write when thinking about you. Sayori? No. Spooky. I don't deserve this. You're too nice to me. Why are you doing this? Sayori has trouble keeping her voice steady all of a sudden. If you had fun with everyone else instead, this would be so much easier. Sayori! I glance around the room to make sure nobody has noticed this. Sayori, I probably never said this before, but I don't understand what you're feeling right now. Tell me what will cheer you up. Sayori shakes her head. She sniffles and keeps shaking her head. Finally, she gathers herself and puts on a smile. It's nothing, Spooky. It's just a little rain cloud. I'm sorry you had to see that. I promise it won't happen again. Just smiles from everyone, okay? That's all that matters. Go play with everyone else. I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Sayori, tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I will see you tomorrow. Before I could say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. That's strange. This one's alright. Alright? Well, yeah. About as good as yesterday's anyway. I see what you were going for, but it's just not really my style. I mean, that's fine. I'm mostly just glad you're trying a little bit. Well, of course, I'm at least trying. Why are you so emotionally invested in my poems anyway? Isn't that a little more compliment to me? No. Gross. It's not like I care. It's just that one of us in this club has to make sure you're not slacking off. Really? Well, what if you ended up just scaring me away? That's, it's not like you would actually do that. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of fun to hang out here, even if I have to put up with you. Gah. Nasuki's elbow connects with my stomach. Oh, maybe I won't mind scaring you away after all. I was just joking. Oh, I know. Don't worry, I was too. How the hell do you call that a joke? That seriously hurt. Maybe it was funny to her. I guess that's kind of the point. I should really wash my mouth around Nasuki. Anyway, Nasuki holds her poem out to me like nothing ever happened. I'll be your bench. Your mind is so full of troubles and fears that diminished your wonder over the years. But today I have a special place, a beach for us to go. A shore reaching beyond your sight, a sea that sparkles with brilliant light. The walls in your mind will melt away before the sunny glow. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way that you thought you had left long ago. Let's bury your heavy thoughts in a pile of sand. Bathe in sunbeams and hold my hand. Wash your insecurities in the salty sea and let me see your shine. Let's leave your memories in a footprint trail. Set you free in my windy sail. And remember your reasons you're wonderful when you press your lips to mine. I'll be the beach that washes your worries away. I'll be the beach that you daydream about each day. I'll be the beach that makes your heart leap in a way that you thought you'd left long ago. But if you let me by your side, your own beach you will escape. You'll learn to love yourself again. Yeah. I felt like if I kept writing about negative things, so I wanted to write something with a nice message for once. Besides, the beach is awesome. Kind of hard to write anything negative about the beach. So you decided to write about the beach first and then came up with the message later? Yeah, well, it's only because of what happened yesterday. I mean, after Yuri and I realized we kind of wrote about the same thing, she wanted to pick a topic and have us both write about it or whatever. You can really see her doing that too. Making us write about a simple topic than trying to impress me by coming up with something all fancy. Well, it's not like I care. I just did it anyway. I mean, I guess mine ended up being kind of metaphorical too. But there's nothing wrong with doing that once in a while. At the very least, it's good practice. Let's go to Yuri now. Well done, Spooky. You've definitely improved your writing over the course of these few days. Has my advice been helpful to you? Yeah, definitely. I'm glad. Sharing our writing like this, it's a lot more fun and rewarding than I anticipated. I need to remember to thank Monica. If we all felt a little awkward at first, but now it seems like everyone is enjoying sharing their writing and seeing what others think. I guess I can't really disagree. I was afraid this whole thing would be a chore. It's a great way for me to spend some personal time with all the girls in the club. But it's been fun getting to know everyone and their writing. I guess I'm doing some writing myself. Well, have you learned anything about yourself, Spooky? Well, you know I like to say that writing is a very personal way to get in touch with oneself. In the end, it doesn't matter if you're a good writer or a bad writer. And even my opinions are just opinions, you know? As always, I believe what's most important is exploring and discovering yourself. That's comforting. I'm kind of afraid of disappointing you in some way or another. Why me? Well, you're always sophisticated with your writing, and I have the most advice to share. Is that so? Yuri thinks for a good minute. That must be terrible. For me to have become someone whose opinion is fearsome? How unlikable of me. Yuri, it's not as bad as you're making it sound in your head. I just meant that I respect your opinion. I see. I'm sorry if I always overthink and come to those sorts of conclusions. I'm just a little too used to it. Overthinking? Being disliked. Yuri. What am I saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. Let's move on. Alright. Do you want to share your poem now? Okay. Here. Beach. A marvel millions of years in the making, where the womb of the earth chastically meets the surface, under a clear blue sky and expansive bliss, but beneath gray sailing clouds, beneath gray rolling clouds, I can't read cursive, an endless enigma. The easiest world to get lost in is one where everything can be found. One can only build a sandcastle where the sand is wet, Where the sand is wet, the tide comes. Will it gently lick at your foundation until you give in? Or will a sudden wave send you crashing down in the blink of an eye? Either way, the outcome is the same, yet we still build sandcastles. I stand where the foam wraps around my ankles, where my toes squish into the sand. The salty air is therapeutic. The breeze is gentle yet powerful. I sink my toes into the ultimate boundary line, tempted by the foamy tendrils. Then back, I abandon my peace to erode at the shore. Drift forward, and I return to the earth forevermore. Beak. God, that is the one way to defeat me or confuse me, is cursive. Actually, no. Text. Make me read something out loud. I can read, just not out loud. Like, make me read something out loud and you will fucking confuse the shit out of me. I'm aware that the beach is kind of an inane thing to write about, but I did my best to take a metaphorical approach to it. Yeah, Nasuki already told me about it. She did? She didn't say anything weird, did she? She just wanted us to write about the same topic again. I suppose to better compare the differences in our writing styles, or thought processes. Anyway, it was her idea. Knowing her, it's no surprise that she'd want to do something like that. She probably just wants to show off. It's not like I have a particular interest in her writing style. I just went with her request. But, well, I suppose it's not as bad to think about something simple on the occasion. It can be refreshing, you know. It's good for me to calm my thoughts once in a while. Yeah, I think I agree. Thanks for sharing. Monica! Hi, Spooky. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people? I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. It would also make me happy to see. Anyways, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I'll let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. It's kind of funny. How so? No, not the poem. I mean, it's funny how your poems and Sayori's poems have been getting more and more similar to each other every day. I'm surprised you're so in sync with her. Then again, you've been spending a lot of time together lately, haven't you? I guess you could say that. Although we grew up as best friends, I haven't been seeing as much of her this past year. Good God. But since I joined the club, we've been spending a lot of time together again. I see. That reminds me. About how Sayori's been a little off today. Yeah, did she tell you something? Well, Spooky, you haven't been flirting with her, have you? Of course not. Well, I've been treating her like I always do. Alright, just making sure. I know how much you care about her. It would be terrible if something bad happened to her, so keep an eye on her. Sayori's been acting so much happier ever since you joined the club. What could have happened all of a sudden? Well, never mind. This really isn't the time to be talking about this. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale of a lady who wanders Earth. The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer. All meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. When all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains, the last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky. Until one day the wind ceases to blow, I fall, and I fall and fall and fall even more, gentle as a feather, a dry quill, expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I'm thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose. We seek the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. That's depressing. You know, I feel like learning and looking for new answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we have all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there's one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in this club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you know that better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Ah, yeah, that. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me, or did you say something strange just now? Eh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Stagnating air is coming from the foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. Ah, it seems you're right. Huh. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to, anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Masuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on. She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you pick the time when she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No! First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh. That curious expression coming from Yuri of all people? Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Suki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them in different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Nasuki? Challenge accepted. As for myself, I'm going to be painting and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for you, Yuri, you can, guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No, that's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know? Now, Nasuki's pouting too? Geez, even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case. But if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So Yuri, you have the most beautiful handwriting you know, so you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that, I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Spooky, the one who is truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Nasuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to help one of them. You could always choose to help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. That's... Fuck! Sneeze, damn. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? I wonder if the Earth can respond to a suggestion like that. I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even you don't know how to bake. There's always some dirty work I can give you. It's not like Monika's gonna give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Nasuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Nasuki, you mentioned that you would like to handle baking on your own. Spooky may not like to be around if you only bake him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, he may be more suited to be assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that. How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Spooky to... What are you saying? It would be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Spooky to decide how he'd like to contribute. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying, though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Spooky, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Ah, of course. Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me. But of course I'm going to go with... I can pick Sayori. I don't know. What happens if I pick Sayori? I mean, it's going to be anyone that I prefer helping Sayori. I mean, we're already neighbors then. But Monika said Sayori was already helping her. Jeez. Do you really hate us that much? No. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for this to be difficult. I mean, one thing I do have in common with Sayori is that I also love food. So, I mean, maybe I can steal a cupcake or two. Well, baking sounds like it could be fun. You guys make it sound like a lot of work, so it could probably use 2 people. Don't worry. Baking is a ton of fun. You'll definitely agree. Eh? Just a minute ago you were saying that's because... Never mind, okay? Well, anyway, you'll be fine by yourself, right, Yuri? Of course. I'm used to it after all. That's good. Even though Yuri's being melodramatic, it's a little hard not to feel bad. So that's everything, right? Anything else you wanted to talk about? Nope, I think that's it. Are you guys excited? Yes! Everything except the performance is going to be awesome. I don't think that really counts. What about you, Spooky? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested in to see how it'll turn out. It's good enough for me. What about you, Yuri? Yuri? She's still sulking. Nasuki starts pouting too. It's not that big of a deal or anything. Well, it might not just be that, or it might not be just that. I think that Yuri might just be feeling a little underappreciated in general. Having to come up with something for her to do and then nobody offering to help. It doesn't mean... Nasuki glances back and forth between everyone with a worried expression. Look. Nasuki goes over and puts her hands down on Yuri's shoulders. Yuri, you really are the most talented one here. And you're really going to make the event a lot more fun and welcoming. I mean, the cupcakes will probably help a lot too, but you're going to make the atmosphere special. That'll be really important for the way that people feel during the performances. So, you need to stop being dumb and give yourself a little more credit. Nasuki releases her hands and turns around to face the other direction. You didn't really mean that, did you? Not really, but Yuri isn't the only one surprised. Monika and I are also taken back by Nasuki's words. Nasuki, of all people, to be saying such encouraging things. But I begin to understand. Nasuki was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that's what she tried to say. Or I could tell she tried to say something special that Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. I'm sorry for being dumb. I'm going to do my best. And all of us are going to make it a really great event. Yeah. I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Okay, but I'm staying here a bit longer. I barely get to do any reading today, so fair enough. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monika and Yuri out the door as they chat between each other. Where are you going? Eh? We still need to figure out our plans for this weekend. You literally would have gotten home and realized that you didn't even have a way to contact me. Oh, that's true. I have no idea how that slipped my mind. Geez, good thing I stopped you. I'm giving you my number, okay? You better not make it weird or anything. Why would I do that? Suki gives me your number. Okay, I'm coming over on Sunday. I'll bring all the ingredients. Wait, you're coming to my house? Well, yeah. What's wrong with that? I mean, I just figured that since I'm the one helping, I'd be going to your house. Yeah, right. If I could have a guy over at my house, my dad would kill me. Really? That's kind of strict if you ask me. Yeah, how do you think I feel? I can't do anything when my dad's home. Anyways, I just needed to complain for a second. We have each other's numbers now. That's all I needed from you. I guess I'll text you when I'm coming over. Alright, fine by me. Yeah. I'm only gonna show you why I love baking so much, so you better look forward to it. Oh? Didn't you say you were just going to give me the dirty work? Well, I was just saying that. It's not like I could actually act like in front of everyone that I was looking forward to this. Wait, really? Well, kind of. Just because I never got to bake with someone else before. That's all it is, so... Alright, I get it. Sorry for overreacting. Anyway, I'll be heading out now. See you on Sunday. Never mind. I can't believe this. Suki is going to be coming to my house on Sunday? Even though I prefer to do this with Sayori, my anxiety still shoots through the roof. Guess I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point. But who knows what might end up happening when we're outside of school. She even told me she was looking forward to it. I shake my head. Why do I feel so nervous that Sayori finds out about this? It's not like we feel that way about each other. Besides, like Monica said, this is about the club. I have nothing to worry about. If I just go with it, then I'll have a good time. It's already Sunday. I'm getting increasingly anxious about Nasuki's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. I wonder if she'll act any different than when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, she's been texting me a lot. We sent each other one after exchanging numbers to double check, but it turned out into a conversation. She almost had a completely different personality on the phone, using tons of emoji and cute language. She also really likes to complain about things, but I kind of saw that one coming. But putting Nasuki aside, I haven't heard anything from Sayori since she left the club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything, but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside when she might need me? I decided to visit Sayori before Nasuki comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering it myself. Again, we used to play so often that we've made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we're family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom where I finally find her. Sayori? Hi, Spooky. I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy for me to tell that it's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this a long time, have you? I guess you're right. It's been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals in the wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I ended up cleaning it up for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Are you supposed to see Nasuki today? Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? That's true. But what about you? Are you going to be helping Monica today? Of course. But I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. So it's just me and Nasuki then? Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing. After you left on Friday, when something's wrong, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well, so... Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Spooky. Eh? Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been so worried about me at all. You wouldn't have to come here. You wouldn't have been all thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Sayori. I grabbed Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, Spooky. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? You're really just going to make me say it, aren't you, Spooky? Guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put out their energy in put their energy in carrying? Why make other people put their energy in carrying to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time that I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Why is it that you've never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your close friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I could do. I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little bit better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, Spooky. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then, I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads nothing but hurt. You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting. That's what I'll do. No, Spooky. There's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could just be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grabbed Sayori's shoulders. This time I pulled her into a tight embrace. Spooky. Sayori. I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, that's just a bonus. But please never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Spooky. Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No. Don't do this to me. Please don't do this. Spooky. Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. All I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you'd better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Gently, Sayori puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Spooky. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm. And that's really scary, too. Sayori lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The festival is tomorrow. Yeah. It's going to be fun, right? Yeah. How would you like for me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Mitsuki to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand, but I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I'll look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit the house. On my way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy. But it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Natsuki is about to come over too. I think Sayori is right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. I spend only a few minutes back at home, anxiously awaiting Natsuki's arrival. Before I know it, she texts me to let me know she's outside the front door. Without delay, I open the door to let her in. Sup? Hey. I don't know what I was expecting, but seeing Natsuki in something other than her school uniform totally threw me off. Seeing her in such a cute clothes makes the uniform seem really unfitting in comparison. Geez, don't make it feel so awkward already. It's gonna be a long afternoon, so don't be weird just because you're not used to seeing me outside of school. Anyway, I'm coming in. I see you brought a lot of stuff. Natsuki is carrying a large bag that is probably full of baking supplies. Well, I didn't want to come all this way to find out your kitchen isn't equipped for the job. You brought everything I asked you to, right? Yeah, I did. Yesterday, Natsuki asked me to buy a bunch of ingredients if I didn't already have them at home. Good. Glad I could count on you to do your part. Well, of course. I'm surprised to hear Natsuki suddenly say that rather than something snarky like she usually does. Could it be that she is a little different outside of school after all? Anyway, let's go to the kitchen. What? You're not even going to offer to take this heavy bag from me? Where's your hospitality, Spooky? Come on. Since when did I need to be a gentleman? I grab the bag Natsuki holds out to me. Gah, this is ridiculously heavy. I carried it all the way here. Are you impressed? I see now. Yeah, I am impressed, Natsuki. It seems like I always underestimate you. It's because I'm so small, isn't it? You jerk. Natsuki hits a fist into my chest. Hey. Your size has nothing to do with it. Do you really hate being that small so much? It's not like I hate it. I mean, sometimes I like proving people wrong when they only think I'm worth my size. It's fun when I get to be small and also be better than other people. But, geez, never mind. What are you making me say? Don't think you can make me talk about weird things just because we're not at school. Are we getting started or what? There's a lot of stuff I gotta teach you. What? That's a little bit more like you. You're more fun when you just speak your mind like that. Hey, now you are treating me like a kid. I was just trying to be a little nicer to you, you know? And just because I don't have a mature and sexy figure like Yuri doesn't mean you should treat me like... Natsuki catches her words and her face turns red. Natsuki. Forget it. I didn't say anything. I should apologize. I appreciate that you were trying to be nicer. I should have been a little more considerate too. But also, if that's what you're thinking, then you should know that there are tons of guys who are into body types like yours. How would you know that anyway? Just trust me on this one. Gross. Hey! Was that to me? Who else? Man. Let's just get started already. You get all sour when a girl calls you gross. I finally found your weakness, Spooky. Nasuki smiles deviously. Please spare me. Well, if Nasuki decides to dish out more insults like that, there's no way I'm not fighting back. But she's satisfied enough for now, finally starting to pull things out of her bag so we can get started. Before long, the whole kitchen is a mess. Spoons, dirty bowls, flour, spilled fluid, and plastic bags are strewn all about every countertop. The mixer isn't big enough to make all the batter at once, so we had to do it several times. Meanwhile, Nasuki is babysitting all of my movements to make sure I don't mess up her precious baking. Spooky, where did you put the food coloring? The batter's going in the oven soon, so I need to fill the trays. I think it's in the bag next to the table. What are you using it for? To color the batter, of course. I'm making each tray a different color. That way, even if the flavors aren't different, everyone can still pick their favorite. Oh, that's a cute idea. Are we doing anything like that with the icing? Do you want to? You're asking me? I don't really usually have a preference, so come on. You're not putting any heart into this at all. Can't you at least try to have fun? I'm having fun. I'm not really sure what Nasuki is trying to get out of me. Meanwhile, I see her separate the batter into smaller bowls and put a few drops of food coloring into each. Oh, that does look pretty cool. See? It's not like baking is just about following instructions. The presentation is where you get to be creative and have the most fun. It's a million times more worth it in the end if just looking at it makes everyone's eyes glow. Fuck. It's a million times worth it in the end if just looking at it makes everyone's eyes lighten up. Jeez. Like the ones you made on the first day, huh? I recall Nasuki proudly presenting her cat-shaped cupcakes and Sayori and Monika's delighted expressions. Wonder if I can make Nasuki proud like that too. Yeah. Maybe I will use the food coloring then. Sounds like you're starting to understand. Just make sure you completely finish mixing the icing before you mess up with the food coloring. Yeah, it's getting there. We were using the electric mixer for the batter, so I got stuck with a whisk and a huge bowl for the icing. Eh? The icing's still all lumpy. Are you even trying? Well, yeah. It'll just take a little longer. Jeez, I'll be here all night if you do it like that. Here, look. Suki grabs the whisk from me and uses her hand to tilt the bowl back. We really need to beat the crap out of it. After a few seconds, the consistency of the icing is already improved. See? As if to emphasize, Nasuki sticks her finger in the icing and pops it in her mouth. I reluctantly start to do the same. Hey! Nasuki suddenly grabs my wrist. I don't want your gross fingers in my icing. Your icing, eh? You're forgetting who did all the work? I started to fight back, trying to inch my finger towards the bowl. Don't make me beat the crap out of you next. I'd like to see you try. I push harder, just enough for my finger to reach the icing. I triumphantly scoop some with my finger, just as Nasuki tugs with all her might. Ah! The force of Nasuki pulling me causes me to stumble, making her stumble in return. Gross! You got it on my face. Whose fault is that? There's a big glob of icing on Nasuki's cheek. She tries to reach it with her tongue, but it's too far away. Jeez. You know what? Take this. Nasuki instead wipes it off with her finger before shoving her finger toward my own face. You wish. I'm faster. I grab her with my hand before it reaches her face. Nasuki tries to use her other hand to fight back, but I grab that one as well. Stop. Not until you apologize for calling me gross. Fine, fine. I'm sorry for calling you gross. You know I don't mean it. Fuck. It's just fun seeing you react to it. You do that for me all the time, you know. Saying dumb things just to get a reaction out of me. You really shouldn't tease girls like that. Is that so? In that case, I probably shouldn't do this either. I take Nasuki's finger and put it in my mouth, licking off the icing. What? Did you seriously just... Nasuki is so surprised she can't even figure out how to get mad at me. Her face is entirely red. Spooky? You really shouldn't do that kind of things to girls unless you really like them. You know that, right? What kind of question is she asking me just like that? How did the moon turn into this so quickly? Nasuki gazes at me in silence. I notice her shallow breaths. Why am I starting to feel dizzy? I don't know where the fire alarm starts going off. Nasuki rushes over to the oven. Is something burning? I thought you didn't put the cupcakes in yet. No wonder. You left a dirty tray in here, dummy. How could you make a mistake like that? You should have checked before turning the oven on. Don't blame me for your mistakes. Jeez. Nasuki turns an oven mitt to grab the blackened tray out of the oven. She sets it on top of the stove. In another moment, the fire alarm stops. Anyway, I'm putting them in the oven now. Yeah. The tension from the moment before still lingers over our heads, but the moment has already been lost. I watch as Natsuki slides the cupcake trays into the oven. Then I reluctantly pick up the whisk and continue with the icing like nothing ever happened. Ah, that smells so good. The cupcakes are ready to be pulled out of the oven. As soon as Natsuki opens up the oven door, a blast of sweet-smelling warm air fills the room. Look how cute they all look. She probably shows off the different colored cupcakes in each of the trays. They'll look even better once we add the icing. Not like you need to tell me that. I brought the decorating stuff, so I hope you can get creative. Here, scoop the icing into these bags. Natsuki hands me some plastic bags. I have these nozzles that will make it look nice and fluffy. This one's even make flowers. We probably won't be using it this time, though. What's this one for? I picked up one of the nozzles that has a much thinner tip than the others. That one's really thin, so you can use it to make stripes or other patterns. But you can also use it to write stuff on a cake. Like happy birthday or whatever. Huh, I see. It gives me an idea, actually. Huh? Well, if it's a literature event, right? We could use it to make more literature theme by writing a different word on each of the cupcakes. It would be fun to see people choose their favorite cupcake based on a word they like. I was kind of expecting you to say something really stupid, but that's actually a really cute idea, so... Maybe I'm getting it from you. What's that supposed to mean? I'm not cute. Come on. We're not at school. Nobody's judging. You can't dress and act like this and not expect me to think you're cute. Well... Natsuki's voice trails off. Same with you. Huh? Did you just say something? No, nothing. Let's just do the icing. Natsuki picks up the paste and fastens the nozzle onto each of the bags. There's a lot to do, so we shouldn't be wasting time. Here, I'll show you how to do it. Without giving me a chance to think about before, Natsuki quickly moves on. She shows me how to apply the icing, and then we each get to work. When we're finally finished, Natsuki picks them all up side by side to admire our work. Look at how pretty they are together. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Ugh, I wish I could have one now. Well, there's no reason you can't, right? I don't see any harm in that. Well, yeah, but my dad's making dinner tonight, so I really need to save my appetite. Sarah's the exact opposite in that regard. If she was here, we'd probably be down 10 cupcakes already, and she would still eat dinner. Come on, that's just unhealthy. Besides, when my dad cooks, I need to eat as much of it as I can. Well, anyway, I was hoping when we have time for manga, but I need to be home for dinner. Already? That's a shame. It's your fault for working so slowly. You should have thought about that. It's not like you always have this chance. Man. As usual, Natsuki places the blame on me. You can bring the cupcakes tomorrow, right? If you and Saori can each carry some, then you could probably do it in one trip. Yeah, I can do that. And don't worry, I won't let her eat any. I wish she would just listen to me the way she listens to you. Yeah. I again think back to the conversation I had with Saori earlier today. I felt so helpless. Saori always does listen to me, but at that point it felt like she couldn't listen to me at all. Okay, I'm all packed up. Good work today. You too. I'll walk you out, I guess. Just like that, Natsuki is already ready to leave. It feels like the afternoon went by in a flash. More than that, did I even take the opportunity to get closer to her like I wanted? Well, I guess I'll be off then. Thanks for all the help and everything. I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, Natsuki? What you said before about not always having this chance, it doesn't have to be that way at all. I had fun today. Show me how fun baking can be like you wanted. But aside from that, you can come over anytime, okay? I think if possible, I'd like to spend more time like this. If you want to read manga or go out somewhere. Do you really mean that? Natsuki looks at me tensely, like she's trying to hide her expression. Yeah. I want to spend more time with you. Spooky. I thought you only cared about getting this done. Ugh. I'm sorry I had to leave so early today. I really didn't want to. I would really stay here longer if I could. I feel the same way as you, so... Natsuki suddenly gets closer to me. Wait, Natsuki. Sitting inches from me, Natsuki looks up at me. I feel her finger gently clutches the sides of my shirt as if holding on to me. Her rose-colored cheeks and matching eyes fill my vision, along with her slightly parted lips. What is happening? My heart starts to go dizzy as if her soft breath's against me. I felt it. For a while now. Nasuki suddenly jumps back. Sayori? Ah. Hi, Spooky. Sayori. Just now we weren't... It's okay, Spooky. I just stopped by to say hi. Well, you should have come a little earlier. I'm already on my way out, so... Aw, really? That's too bad. Yeah, well... I'll still see you at the festival tomorrow, so it's fine. Just don't eat any cupcakes before then. Anyway, later. Clearly flustered, Nasuki hurries off, and Sayori waves goodbye. Sayori, I thought you didn't want to come over today. Well, I tried staying in my room, but my imagination was being really mean to me. So I had to come here and see it for myself. See what? What are you talking about? You know, how much fun you were having with Nasuki, and how close you got to her. It makes me really happy that you're making such good friends. That's all that matters to me. Tears start to fall down Sayori's face. That's all that matters to me. Why am I feeling this way, Spooky? I'm supposed to be happy for you. Why does it feel like my heart is splitting in half? It hurts so much. Everything hurts so much. This would be so much better if I could just disappear. Sayori, don't say that. It's true, Spooky. If I wasn't here, then you wouldn't have to waste your sympathy on me. You wouldn't have put with me being selfish. Monica was right. I should just... Monica? Monica was right about what? Sayori. What I said before is true. I'm not going to let this continue. Caring about you like this isn't a burden your mind is making it out to be. It's something that makes me happy. It's something that I would really that I wouldn't trade for anything else. So even if it takes an entire lifetime, I'm going to be by your side until you don't feel any more pain. But Sayori looks away. I put a hand on her shoulder and reassure her. I'm scared, Spooky. I'm really scared. What are you scared of, Sayori? I'm scared that I might like you more than you like me. Sayori? It's true, isn't it? I was weak and just started to like you too much. I did this to myself. Spooky. I like you so much that I want to die. That's how I feel. And that's enough, Sayori. I don't want you to hurt anymore. I saw my hand down Sayori's arm and squeeze her hand in my own. Do you remember how I said I always know what's best for you? Do you still believe me? Wordlessly, Sayori nods, even if you don't understand all of your own feelings. I know what you need most right now, and that's what I'm going to give you. Sayori? Oh my god. I'm obviously going to go with the top one, but the absolute devastation, because as I probably pointed out earlier, that was my intent, because I tried to make the poems about Sayori, because these two are childhood friends. But man, imagine if I fucking friend-zoned her like that. Holy shit. It's like the options in like a game where like there's a option to make the NPC sad. But like this one is like, God, it's like a I haven't even picked it and I feel bad that it's an option. Fuck. I love you. Those are my true feelings. So there's no way you could like me more than I like you. I should have realized it sooner. But spending time with everyone at the club, making new friends, and having fun with you every day, it helped me realize that you are truly the most important person to me. That's why I'll accept any of your burdens, as long as we can continue like this every day. With you by my side, then I know we'll both be happy. Spooky. Suddenly, Sayori wraps her arms tightly around me. Spooky. Is this really okay? Yeah. I held Sayori in my arms and pulled her closer. You'll never have to let go of me again. I love you, Spooky. I want to be with you forever. Me too. I feel Sayori's grip around me weaken a little bit. What is this? Sayori? I'm supposed to be happy right now. I always thought this would be the happiest moment for me. But why? Even now? Why won't the rain clouds go away? They're not going away at all, Spooky. It's okay, Sayori. It might take some time for things to get better again. But no matter how long it takes, I'll be there every step of the way. That's all that matters right now. Okay. I trust you. Sayori and I slowly release each other. So, I guess that makes the festival tomorrow our first date, huh? What are you saying? I don't want to think about those things, you know? I want everything to be the same as it's always been, even if we really are a couple. I don't know if I could handle anything more right now. It's really new and scary to me. I understand. We'll go at our own pace, or whatever pace suits you best. Hey, Spooky. Sayori glazes at me once again, smiling sadly. Even if I get really, really sad, this is the best thing for me, right? Huh? I don't really understand what Sayori means by that. Are you saying that this is making you feel sad, Sayori? I don't know. I don't understand what I'm feeling. I feel like a bunch of thorns when you told me you love me. But that's why I want to trust you. You know what's best for me. Yeah. I do. That's my promise. I say that, but in reality, I've never felt more uncertain when it comes to Sayori. I know that I love her and she loves me, but I'm having as much trouble understanding Sayori's feelings as she is. Even though I can comfort her, I keep wondering if I should be doing something more or something different. I know these thoughts will continue to plague me until things are back the way that they were. Is that what Sayori meant by not wanting anything to change? I don't know, but I know that I'll give everything I got. Sayori is the most important person to me, and I'll do whatever it takes to have a happy future with her. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but she decided it was a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the festival should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond, thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Spooky, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny, I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. It must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking, but maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Spooky. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? Exchange? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president, after all. But I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? We're a couple now? I didn't really plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, though. So don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets I laid out on the desk. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. Ooh, this is so eerie. I recognize Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, it's all just get out of my head. Get out of my head, I do what I know what's best for you. Get out of my head, I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. What is this? Reading this poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Spooky? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. God, the music has stopped. More important than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself! Monica calls that out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or to help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things would be the same as they've always been. That's all she needs, and that's what I want to give her. I reached Sayori's house and knocked on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. What? This gives me a chill. I feel... Oh, this makes me feel sick. What? Oh. What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be here for her. I told her that I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her? I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Then why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My storming thoughts kept telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like it had always been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I can do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers. But I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never, 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 never. Oh, God. Alright. So, that concludes episode 1 of Doki Doki Literature Club. Yeah. It turns fast. Like, it takes a while to get to it. I mean, this is a long-ass video. But when it turns, it does not fucking hesitate. Oh, God. Ugh, it still gives me a sickly feeling. Alright. That's all the time I have for today. So, if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for the next episode of Doki Doki. Have a good day, and be good people. And, just because it was included in this, if you ever feel depressed or feel the ways that were expressed in this, don't be afraid to tell someone. And don't be afraid to get help. From someone who's had those problems themselves, trust me, it does get better. So with that, I'll end this one episode off. Have a good day.